Okay.
All right, so I'm doing this through a student's perspective. So should high school classes start later in the morning? Just a famous saying by Ben Franklin, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Well, is this really true? We all remember those days, staying up late, trying to study for a final, major test early in the morning, pulling all-nighters, trying to finish a research paper, praying that we get 2-hour delays so we can sleep in, pushing the snooze button more than once on your alarm clock, and then your parents come in waking you up because you were so tired that you slept through your alarm, you didn't even hear it, and now you have to scramble to get ready for school. And then just those students who have to get up extra early anyway to get ready for school so they can be there on time. So we have these days where we really don't want to go to bed, and you dread getting up. It gets to the point where you kind of justify reasons as to, well, if I don't do this to get ready, I can sleep in this much longer. And then with staying up too late, you end up feeling like this guy. Cruddy, irritated, eyes are heavy, and then it leads to falling asleep in class with your mouth open. And it gets to the point where you're just so tired that you don't really care what's going on around you. You miss lectures that are going on, just important information. So lack of sleep is a problem for high school students, and rest is needed. So according to the National Sleep Foundation, it's normal for adolescents not to be able to fall asleep until after 11 o'clock at night, and they usually just naturally want to sleep in until after 8:30. Adolescents need about 8.5 to 9.5 hours of sleep per night, and this sleep is needed for important brain function to occur and to be able to function properly as well. And then according to the American Psychological Association, teens tend to catch up on sleep over the weekends, and this actually creates more issues because it's one of those things where you go to bed early the night before thinking you're going to be rested. When you wake up, you're actually more groggy and tired. It's kind of like that. Teens make up half of traffic accidents each year due to drowsiness and fatigue. And sleep deprivation causes difficulties in school, so they'd be sleeping in class, poor concentration, and poor grades. According to Amy R. Wolfson and Mary A. Clarkson, authors of Understanding Adolescent Sleep Patterns and School Performance, poor sleepers were significantly more likely to fail to meet requirements for the grade level. Students in high schools with earlier start time of 7:40 compared to 8:30, so I mean it's literally less than an hour difference, reported shorter school night total sleep times and more sleep problems, more daytime fatigue and sleepiness, more difficulty with concentration and attention, greater likelihood of using stimulants to stay awake, and poor school performances. And insufficient sleep is associated with school tardiness, inability to concentrate, tendency to doze off during class, and lowered school motivation. So what is the solution for this? Allow classes to start a little bit later in the morning to accommodate teenage students. So the benefits of this would be, and this was taken from a study conducted by the University of Minnesota, College of Education and Human Development. They found that there was an improved attendance and enrollment rate, and this is when classes were pushed back, not even a half hour. Less sleeping in class, less student-reported depression, fewer student visits to school counselors for behavioral and peer issues, more even temperament at home. They also had less tardiness. Students gained an average of about 1 hour of sleep per night. They ate breakfast more frequently, being able to complete more homework during school hours because they were more alert and efficient during the day, and students seemed more alert in class. And the two schools that did this, they were out of Minneapolis. So you have the suburb of Minneapolis, Edina. They changed their hours from 7:20 to 8:30, and the Minneapolis public schools changed their hours from 7:15 to 8:40. And these are just schools in the Cedar Rapids area on what times they start. So with the exception of Linn-Mar, because they have block scheduling, they don't start till 8:30. But like Washington, they start at 7 a.m. and that's their first period. No early bird sessions, nothing. So that would be very difficult if it's harder to go to bed at night and then having to get up early in the morning. So how will this work? Well, first there needs to be a trial period established ahead of time, so everyone's not dealing with change all of a sudden, so you need to plan this ahead and let everybody know, get parents, teachers, and students involved. To start off, I would just do a 2-month trial period and take 3 of the 5 days, where the first period will start between 8:30 and 9. And there's been some kind of opposition to this because people feel that they don't want to go to school later in the day, which that doesn't have to be the case. You can just take off 5 to 10 minutes of each class and you'll still be able to get out the normal time. Or even if you were to lengthen the time, it would be stretched out to about 3:30 or 4. So it's not that much of a difference. And then while this is happening, collect data throughout the observations, surveys, grade reports, to determine whether or not this change will be permanent. So in conclusion, just remember that high school students are soon to be our future. So how they learn today will affect us later in life. So if teens can positively benefit from this proposal, why not do what's best for them and make the change? Thank you.